Welcome, everybody, to our June 16th regular County Commissioners meeting. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Hunt?
Here.
Commissioner Mitchell?
Here.
Commissioner Smith?
Here.
Commissioner Howard?
Here.
Vice Chairman Jones?
Here.
Chairman Bucher?
Here. If you'll stand with me, we're going to have Mr. Grady, our county attorney, give our prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, so remain standing.
This is the day that you, O Lord, have made, yet another day in the life you have given us. You, O Lord, are the author of this day. May that simple fact not be lost on us in the living of today. As we relish the beginnings of summer, may we stop to appreciate that it is you, our Creator, who established the sun and the moon to mark the seasons and revealed in each one the magnificent handiwork of your creation. As we consider the lives we lead, may this day serve to remind us that you have set us here in such a time as to live with intention, guided by your wisdom, assured of your divine purpose for us and for your people. Yes, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. In your majestic name, O Lord, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioners, you have the agenda before you, and I'd like to know if there are any changes, additions, or deletions.
Move to approve the agenda as written.
Second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Could I have a roll call, please, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hunt?
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Howard?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones?
Yes.
Chairman Bucher?
Yes. Item number 1 on our agenda today is the Community Child Protection Team and Child Facility Prevention Team presentation. We have Jenny Cook and Antoinette Bosky, who are co-chairs of the Community Child and Fatality Team. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get that right. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Fortunately, Antoinette couldn't be here today, so I'll be presenting on my own.
Okay.
I'll refer to the PowerPoint. The purpose of the Community Child Protection Team and the Community Fatality Prevention Team is to identify gaps in services and to advocate for those services in order to be able to assist the citizens here of Craven County. Next slide, please. Next. If you look at the numbers, in 2024, Craven County Department of Social Services received 1,292 reports regarding child welfare cases. Of those reports, 845 were screened in. They met the policy requirements to be screened in. And there was 55 regarding substance-affected infants. And if you're looking at the numbers, you'll see that from 2021 to now, from 2024, the average range is about the same in the reports received. However, if you look at 2023 to 2024, there's about a 4% decrease in the reports received. And from 21 to 24, there's about a 7% decrease in the ones accepted. There has been a change in the substance-affected infant reports received. And those cases are all considered high-risk cases. Craven County DSS considered those cases high risk. They require at least weekly contact with those families. They also require a member of management to be involved in the safety planning of those children. They require ongoing management participation in meetings and at case decision, at case closure, or needing for ongoing services. I like to believe that some of those numbers going down throughout that is about a 27% decrease from 21 to 24. And there's been ongoing education regarding substance use and the impact on substance use while you're pregnant. The health department, the hospital, and Craven County DSS and other community partners have been providing that ongoing education and providing resources to getting families engaged. Next slide, please. The fatality prevention team members We meet quarterly in January, April, and July, and October. Next slide. In 2024, the Community Child Protection Team reviewed 8 child welfare cases of DSS. When reviewing those cases, the contributing factors of maltreatment was parenting, child mental health, and the parent's mental health. There was resources provided to those families. Next slide, please. Of linking the families to services through the Autism Society of North Carolina, also for services and resources through the Highlight State Treatment and Inpatient Treatment Center in Springbrook in South Carolina. DSS continues to partner with Trillium to identify and locate therapeutic placements to meet the mental health needs of children in ongoing services in foster care. They continue to partner with South Mountain CAC in submitting referrals for children for mental health services. And there was a recommendation to continue to link parents to veteran services to assist with housing needs, and to link parents with children with disabilities to peer support, such as with Easter Seals. Next slide, please. The fatality team reviewed 18 cases where abuse and maltreatment were not the leading cause of the child's death. The team searches for ways to prevent future fatalities and provide resources to families. Next slide. There were 10 cases due to perinatal conditions, such as like premature births. There were no system problems identified. There were recommendations to resources for families for grief support. The health department and the hospital provides those services to families. There were cases with sickle cell. There was no system problems identified. The recommendation was to continue to education on sickle cell, and the Craven County Health Department offers free sickle cell testing. There were cases regarding sexually transmitted diseases. There was no system problems identified, and again, providing some education and the importance of prenatal care. The Health Department and Carolina East Hospital provides those educations during the hospital visits. There were some cases regarding co-sleeping. Parents continue to choose to co-sleep with their babies. The recommendations on that one was continue on education and safe sleep. Craven County DSS continues to provide safe sleep education, assessing for safe sleep for any child that's under the age of 1. We provide, with the state, provide some funding regarding being able to purchase some pack and plays and some car seats. So if safe sleep's been identified and the family is not able to have a crib or purchase a bassinet, we assist the family with that. The health department, the hospital also has funding with that. There is a video showed at the health department and at the Craven County DSS waiting room regarding educational videos regarding safe sleep and the importance of not co-sleeping with your child. And again, there's the resources regarding the pack and plays and to the families. There was a case regarding a hit and run. A child was on a bicycle, did not have a helmet or reflective vest. And so we continue to provide education on bike safety, the importance of wearing a helmet. There is handouts through NC Safe Kids that we provide to families regarding the importance of wearing those reflective vests and wearing helmets. Next slide, please. So the areas of focus that the teams will be focusing on for 2025 is to continue to submit appropriate referrals to community partners to help prevent future maltreatment, continue to provide families with community partners the QR sheets to help education and provide family resources here in Craven County. And another project that was identified by the team with the concerns of drowning and things like that. The teams are going to partner with North Carolina Wildlife and Craven County to build life jackets and stations by the boat ramps and or swimming areas. And I will be glad to say last week we did get the approval from the Wildlife Association to go ahead and start moving forward with that life jacket projects. And there will be one here in the Vanceboro area, and there'll be one in Jones County to start with. Next slide, please. We would like to thank you, for your support, your funding to continue to provide resources here in Craven County. and with the Dix Center and the Healing Places of New Hanover to help with families struggling with substance use. I did provide each one of you a magnet with a QR code. That is continuing to be updated as resources come here to Craven County. So I encourage you to please share those with people that you come across. We have ordered some more. I'll provide those to Abigail when they come in so we can continue to provide those and hand those out to in the community.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your presentation. Do we have any questions or comments?
Yeah, I thank you for the cards. I'll get some from Abigail when you drop them off and carry them around with me to share. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Any others? Okay, well, thank you again.
Thank you.
See you next time. And now we have the moment we've all been waiting for with bated breath. Item number 2, adoption of the fiscal year 25-26 budget. We have with us to do that or to bring that is county manager and our financial officer.
Scared to touch the
Right.
thing. Every time I touch it, it's crazy. Good morning, Commissioners. Mr. Chairman, thank you for the introduction. Just for the record, Commissioner Tom Mark is listening remotely but not participating today. So he's on the phone listening here. He unfortunately couldn't be here today. Each of you should have in front of you, and it's up on the screen, is our last piece of the budget process every year. So we begin in December, January, developing the frame. We really get all the parts together in March and April. We dissect it in May, and we work hard to get here in June with the budget ordinance, which is the policy, the resolution that this board adopts to set the priorities and spending for the next fiscal year. Next slide, please. Or Robbie, just scroll down a little bit as I'm talking here. So what we've got in your budget ordinance, it outlines all the different divisions within Craven County under item B. Item A is all your revenues that come in. Your budget this year is $160,927,630, and that's a balanced budget from Section 1 and Section 2. Moving through, we go through all the different accounts that are outside the general fund of the budget, which are your seized property fund, all your fire department budgets that have a separate tax rate that's authorized by this board. And I'm just going to kind of flip through those quickly. I'm on page 7, going to page 8. You can see all the fire departments there. On page 9 is our emergency telephone system, better known as the 911 fund. We have our occupancy tax trust fund on page 10, represented payee fund, which is part of the social services department, which Mr. Merritt's actually here to talk about today. Page 11 is your opioid settlement fund. Remember, these dollars are allocated separate from the general fund by our MOA with the state. Your school debt service fund, which pays for the existing debt that's out there right now. Page 12, our capital reserve fund, which we talk about a whole lot, which is sort of our saving grace when it comes to completing capital projects without having to borrow money. Our school capital fund, these are projects that are larger than $100,000 you've authorized in the budget. They come through a separate process, which is managed jointly between the county and the school system. We have our water fund, our self-insurance fund on page 13, and then the levy of taxes, which I see Ms. Young here this morning, which she'll be excited to do as soon as July 1st hits. And these are your tax rates for the county, which remains the same at 0.4448. And that is on a $15 billion valuation this year. So put that in perspective. You see there, continue on page 14, all the tax rates for the various fire departments. Then lastly, on page 14, as your budget officer, as well as the county manager, these are the items that allow us to take this document and put it to work. Last year, we added in, it begins on page 16, or actually it's called page 1, but it'd be your page 16, is the schedule of fees. We incorporate this into the budget ordinance, and this will set the fees as we discussed during the budget process for this next fiscal year. Mr. Warren's here with me if you have any questions or comments or thoughts or anything we can assist you with. If not, motion and a second to approve the budget ordinance would move us forward.
Questions for either of the two gentlemen? Comments?
Move that we approve the budget as written.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Hunt,
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones,
Yes.
Chairman Bucher.
Yes. Unanimous approval. Thank you very much again for all the hard work that went into preparing this budget.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Board.
Thank you, Craig. Item number 3, consent agenda. Minutes from the June 2nd regular session, minutes from the May 19th reconvened session, and the May 20th reconvened session. B is the tax releases and refunds. C, facilities, cooperative extension, asphalt project budget amendment. And D, planning, request to set public hearing for the community development block grant funding project application. Do I have a motion?
I move to adopt the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Hunt,
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones,
Yes.
Chairman Bucher.
Yes. Item number 4, tax request to approve tax foreclosure legal services. Leslie Young, our tax administrator. Ms. Young?
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for having me. I'm here this morning to seek approval for Newborn and DeSims, our attorneys, to handle Craven County's tax foreclosure legal services. And after I finish that, I'd also like to give an update on our tax collection, where we are as of this morning. So first, if I understand correctly, you have a letter of recommendation in front of you, and it's very straightforward. There was a team comprised of myself, Shane Digan, Gene Hodges, and Craig Wilkie, and each step along the way, we reported to Jack Fine. And you'll see there that we posted for about a month, about 30 days, for any applicants to submit to handle our legal services for our tax foreclosures. After the 30 days, we had 3 applications and we interviewed 2. After that interview, it was unanimous among the group, the team, that DeSims, Newborn and DeSims, clearly stood out. And it is my recommendation, along with the team, to have the approval for them to handle our foreclosures, our tax foreclosures.
Okay.
Chairman, if there's any questions at this time, I'd be glad to take any, and if not, then I seek approval.
Anyone here have a question?
Is this for a 1 year, do we have them for a 1 year period? That's the trial period, or is that?
Well,
contract? Is it under contract?
Yes, ma'am, very good question, but it is of the team, if I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we're going to seek a 3-year.
3 year.
It really takes that long,
I understand.
Commissioner, to see how well, but through our interview process, we are confident that this group is a very good fit for Craven County. There were 2 things that really stood out to me. One is they are ready to do business. Okay? So they are very prepared to take on Craven County's tax foreclosures. And then secondly, they came highly recommended among their references. So we think a 3-year period would be quite reasonable.
Okay, any other questions? A motion?
Motion.
Got a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. You're good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioners. While I'm here, I'm just going to take a quick second that as of this morning, I'm very excited to announce that our collection rate is 99.14. Now, I will be back July 21st to present the settlement, but as of right now, our collection rate is 99.14. Our collection, 59.9 million, and we have in delinquent taxes 515,549. So very good indicator that our economy here, our local economy here in Craven County is still very strong. Glad to report that.
Okay, anybody have any questions for her? Ms. Young, thank you again for coming.
Thank you. Have a great week.
Thank you. Item number 5, social services, representative payee fund budget, Mr. Merritt, welcome.
Thank you, Chairman, Commissioners, County Manager. Thank you for having us this morning. We bring before you a budget amendment for our Representative Payee Fund. This is a special revenue fund that was established through GASB 84 that you see in your packet. What this line does and what Mr. Vite mentioned in the budget is that for individuals when we've been given legal authority over children and adults, they may have federal funds, particularly through Social Security, that we have to manage on their behalf, and we take those funds and put them in the revenue account, but now we have to have the expenditure account to match the revenue. So we've collected additional funds, and we just need to enhance our expenditure funds so we can expend those funds on the behalf of the individuals.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Merritt? Have a motion, please.
Move to approve the budget amendment.
Second.
Motion and a second. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Hunt,
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones,
Yes.
Chairman Bucher.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have additional questions.
Anything else? Any questions for Mr. Merritt?
Yes. I'd like to know how the regrouping is going since you have this new section for your building.
Oh, we've been in the building since, I believe we got everyone in on April 14th. It's been going well. Staff are very happy with their new facilities and their space. So it's very nice to have it. We've got a lot of natural light in there. We haven't, we've been able to get clients in and out easily. So we've also been looking at trying to spread out a little bit with some of our other staff who were in double offices. So we're working on that now, and we're almost done. So a big credit goes, to our management team, and particularly, our buildings and grounds crew, John Weatherington, Tony Brousseau, and Ursula Swells. I want to thank Mr. Steve Bennett. He's helped with that as well, and Zach Chenoweth through all of this. And so we're seeing that, people are settling in their new space. Commissioner Smith, they're very happy, and they're very appreciative to everything the commissioners do for our department and helping us to serve the citizens and people of Craven County. Thank you for the question. Any other questions?
Nope.
All right.
I didn't know.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good week. Item number 6, Convention Center, Ms. Darcia McCoy. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
A budget submission was submitted to you all, and you have it in your presence. Basically, due to a slight increase in events as well as utility costs, I'm asking for a budget amendment to help cover the utilities lines. Gas usage has increased due to on-site caterings that we've had, needing more kitchen time for that, as well as the electricity cost has risen as well. Our HVAC system must remain on at all times, even when the facility is unoccupied, to prevent moisture buildup that could damage the wood structures in that facility. It also helps us remain in compliance with our insurance. The constant use combined with the overall rate increase has contributed to the higher electricity costs. Due to these combined factors, the utility line has exceeded its allocated budget, and the convention center is therefore requesting additional funding to cover the overage to ensure continued uninterrupted facility operations throughout the remainder of the fiscal year.
Okay, questions for Ms. McCoy? Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Hunt,
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones,
Yes.
Chairman Bucher.
Yes. Yes, you got it. Thank you. Okay, next we have Human Resources, Ms. Amber Parker with, I think, 3 requests for us today, all right?
Yes, good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. First, congratulations on your budget, and thank you so much for everything that you did to recognize the hard work of our employees. So Craven County's self-funded health plan will experience a 5% rate increase for fiscal year 25-26, and the rates for the retiree health insurance paid by the county are specified in the Craven County Personnel Resolution, and it's based on the fiscal year 24-25 rates. The 5% rate increase will be passed along to be paid by the retirees unless the personnel resolution is amended to reflect the 25-26 rates. A proposed amendment to the personnel resolution has been provided for you for consideration.
Okay, I have a question on the healthcare coverage amendment.
No, sir, I move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item number B.
Okay, thank you. Craven County Water has requested amending their on-call policy to increase the daily on-call pay rates from $15 to $25 for Monday through Friday, from $40 to $60 per day for Saturday and Sunday, and from $60 to $80 for observed holidays. The on-call pay rate was included in their fiscal year 25-26 budget for a June 18th, 25 effective date, and that revised on-call policy was provided in your packet for consideration.
Okay, questions on that? I just have a comment that I don't know of anybody who enjoys getting a phone call in the middle of the night on their day off to get out and go. So I think it's a reasonable thing. So we have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item number C.
Okay, here's the long one. Your fiscal year 25-26 budget includes opioid settlement funds. The memorandum of agreement between the state of North Carolina and local governments on proceeds relating to the settlement of opioid litigation requires that the board adopt a resolution to specifically indicate that it is an authorization of expenditure of opioid settlement funds. It must state the specific strategy or strategy the county intends to fund using the item, letter, and number from the MOA's exhibits, and it must state the amount dedicated to each strategy for a period of time. The adopted budget meets the county's requirement to meet the state budgeting and fiscal control provisions, and this resolution is intended to meet the MOA requirements. The resolution organizes the opioid settlement funds to identify which strategies are authorized by the board for funding, and it includes $127,272 to be expended on collaborative strategic planning, $200,000 to be expended on post-overdose response, $50,400 for recovery support services, and $289,050 for recovery housing support. And that resolution has been provided in your packet for consideration.
Okay, now, we have questions on that. My only comment there is that somebody has to manage this, and that falls on you at this point, correct?
It does.
Yeah, okay. So, motion to approve.
So moved.
Second,
Ms. B.
motion and second, right here on the end, okay? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Making sure all set. Thank you. Facilities, Mr. Hodges, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Two items for you today. First item, the Facilities Department would like to request to close Project Fund 416, the Carts Building. In May of 2022, the Board of Commissioners funded a $1,870,000 project to build a new office building and secure parking facility for carts and the carts vehicles. The project was completed under budget and on time, and has helped improve the delivery of services to Craven County citizens. The board is requested to approve the attached project ordinance amendment closing out the project and the attached related budget amendment that will transfer $67,301 back to the Capital Reserve Fund.
Any questions for Mr. Hodges on this one?
One clarification, please. The $67,301 is actually, what that means is the project came in under budget.
I underlined under budget and on time, early. That's what we like to see.
Absolutely.
That's really good. Thank you. Okay, need a roll call on this one? Did I get a motion? I did not hear a motion. Now I hear a motion.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion and a second? Now, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Hunt? Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Howard?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones?
Yes.
Chairman Bucher?
Yes, thank you. Item number B.
Next item, board, is next step in our Sudan property redevelopment project. So on April 21, 2025, the Board of Commissioners selected Barnhill Contracting Company as the construction manager at risk for the Sudan Property Redevelopment Project. The Barnhill team, the Oakley Collier Architects team, and county staff have been working closely since that date to develop and evaluate the project and develop a scope. For this initial phase, the scope entails developing the operational plans and specifications for demolition, developing a stormwater and parking lot design for approval by the City of New Bern, and then developing a bid packages for publication and solicitation of bids. One key component of this phase is a 3D subsurface utility mapping scan of the entire county administration campus. The team has deemed this necessary due to the unknowns of any potential utility or infrastructure features that are located under the existing parking lots. To proceed, staff is recommending approval of the attached project ordinance amendment and attached related budget amendment in the amount of $292,813. This represents $195,000 for architect and engineering fees and $97,813 for pre-construction services from Barnhill, including the 3D scan of the subsurface utilities. The budget amendment document also includes budgeting the transfer of the funds into the project fund. Thus, it shows the amount doubled at $585,626. Along with the project budget amendment, staff is requesting authorization for the county manager to execute all necessary agreements to begin this phase of the project. Attached in your packet were copies of the pre-construction service proposal and the proposal for geophysical and mapping services.
Okay, questions from the board? One, right,
Just
Commissioner
one.
Mitchell.
Do we have a ballpark figure on what the demolition is going to cost, or do we have to wait and see what the 3D scan says to be able to estimate it?
Yeah. Well, we've been talking about just kind of been what we've been estimating from a staff perspective. There are some known unknowns that we've got to figure out how big is big.
Right.
As we work on determining that. And so that's going to make a major impact, something that's outside of our wheelhouse of knowing how to estimate to deal with.
Okay, so in other words, the answer is no, it's too early to be able to
Correct.
provide that ballpark
That's
estimate. Okay, that's the only question that I had, Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
thank you. Anybody else? I have a question, just a clarification. Maybe Craig is the one to do this. It says, the budget amendment document includes budgeting the transfer funds into the project fund. Thus, it shows the amount doubled at 585. Somebody may have a question as they, Craig, explain that, please.
So there's a question.
Okay, got you. Okay, one budget amendment. Jack?
It's an accounting standard. So the funding is coming from the capital reserve fund.
Right.
So you got to take it out of there, put it in the general fund. So that shows it twice. Then you got to take it from the capital reserve fund into the expenditure side and break it down. So it ends up getting doubled up. It's an accounting thing. It happens on almost every project.
I understand
It's very frustrating.
it is. It's frustrating that.
We're really talking about 292,000, not 500.
Right. Okay, so everybody's clear on that. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second? Got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hunt,
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones.
Yes.
Chairman Bucher.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, board.
All set. Thank you. Okay, item number 9, Commissioners, is the appointments. And if you'll take note, under pending, we have Craven County Clean Sweep Committee, Craven County Highway 70 Corridor Committee, Juvenile Crime Prevention Council, and Volunteer Agricultural District for Districts 1 and 6. Under current, well, so we got a lot of them today. The first one is Craven County Clean Sweep Committee. Mark Seymour seeks reappointment. Do I have a nomination?
I would nominate Mr. Seymour to be reappointed, please.
Okay, by acclamation. Well, are there any others? Hearing none, by acclamation, he'll be appointed. Craven County Planning Board. Nadia Anderson seeks reappointment, District 5.
I would ask that we defer that appointment at this time, please.
I'm going to defer that one. Okay, we can do that. Third item is Craven County Community College Board of Trustees.
Dr. Davis is currently the vice chair of the Board of Trustees. He will move into the chair position this fall, so my recommendation is that we reappoint
Okay,
him.
we have a nomination for Mr. Davis. Are there any others? He will be appointed by acclamation. East Carolina Workforce Development Board. The following three members seek reappointment: Jason Frall, Anthony Cruz, and Leslie Hunter. Do I hear a motion or a nomination for those three?
So moved.
Okay, we have a nomination for those three. Anybody else want to nominate someone? Hearing none, they will be approved. Next one is the EMS Advisory Council. Jackson Parker has vacated a seat. Brandon Bursch seeks to fill the vacancy for EMS First Responder. The letter is attached. Do I hear a nomination for Mr. Bursch?
I would make that nomination, Chairman.
Okay, do I hear any others? Hearing none, Mr. Birch will be filling that vacancy. Firemen's Relief Fund Board of Trustees, we have two there. We'll do them separately. Joshua Whitford seeks reappointment for Township 2, Little Swift Creek.
Mr. Chairman, I would nominate Josh Whitford.
Okay, we hear a nomination. Are there any others? Hearing none, Mr. Whitford will be appointed. By acclamation, Felix Kroom has vacated the seat. Bobby Willis seeks to fill the vacancy. Township 3, Fort Barnwell.
Chairman, I would ask that Mr. Willis be appointed.
And by acclamation, Mr. Willis will be appointed. Fire Tax Commissioners Board, we have, under Township 6, we have Joanne Slagle seeking reappointment.
I'll recommend Ms. Slagle.
Okay. Are there any others? By acclamation, Ms. Slagle will be reappointed. Sue Arthur seeks appointment to fill the seat vacated by Angela Montemerlo, Township 6 Fire. Do I hear a motion for that one?
I'll recommend Ms. Arthurs.
Okay. Are there any others? Hearing none, Sue Arthurs will fill that seat by acclamation. Okay. Juvenile Crime Prevention Council, there's 6 members that seek reappointment. Ms. Smith, did you want to defer one of those, did you tell me?
Jasmine Kennedy, who was an excellent member, has now left the county and has taken a job with the Department of Defense, I guess it is.
It's on base.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's working on base anyway. I recommend Erlinda C. Dobson to take her place since Jasmine has left that position.
Okay. Say that name again.
Erlinda C. Dobson.
Okay, we have a nomination for her or Linda to fill the seat of Jasmine Kennedy. You see the others there. We have Nikisha Rogers, Marlo Blake, Wendy Payton, and now we have the new name that she just gave us, Andrew Kendall and Christopher Devone. So do I hear a nomination for those people for the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council?
So moved.
Okay, we have a nomination. Do I hear any others? Okay, by acclamation, they will be appointed. Next one, we have New Bern Planning and Zoning Board,
Before we
ETJ.
go to that, before we move to that, I think we have an additional announcement. Shane, would you announce that? Had to do with our young man over here and Juvenile Crime Prevention Board.
What do I know?
His new position.
Oh, that will be the chair.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We have to do anything with that? Okay. Thank you. The New Bern Planning and Zoning Board, Marshall Ballard seeks reappointment. Do I hear a nomination for him?
So moved.
Okay, are there any other nominations for that board? Hearing none, he will be appointed by acclamation. And finally, Riverbend Board of Adjustment, Rick Fisher seeks reappointment.
I recommend Mr. Fisher.
Mr. Fisher has been recommended as a member of the Board of Adjustment, alternate, and are there any other nominations for that position? Hearing none, Mr. Fisher will be reappointed by acclamation. Take note under upcoming, we got 3 people who are being nominated for the ABC Board and the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council. So those will be coming up in the future. All right. Mr. Grady.
Report, Mr. Chairman.
No report from Mr. Grady. Thank you, sir. And County Manager White.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Opportunity to come up twice today. I do have quite a few updates. Fortunately, I had Mr. Wood, Jeff Wood, going to be here this morning, but he's at the community college. But I did want to announce for the record, Project Home 2.0, which is BSH. The expansion in our county was announced, I believe, right after our last meeting. 199 new jobs, average salary of $60,779 with an $11 million investment. So continuing BSH's growth here in the New Bern, Craven County area and centralizing that production. This was a big win for Jeff. I wish he could take a bow in here this morning. I know he worked really, really hard to get this project there. So kudos to Jeff on that.
Jack, I would add on that, there were a number of other places that were being looked at. So it wasn't like an automatic that they were going to come here.
That's right. So we're excited about the opportunity. There's quite a few other projects Jeff's working on right now. So hopefully there'll be more announcements in the coming months. Last week, Commissioner Howard, Chairman Booker, Shane, myself, and Jeff Merritt were able to attend County Assembly Day in Raleigh. It's the annual North Carolina Association of County Commissioners, now day and a half in Raleigh, where we hear from the General Assembly, we meet with our members, we talk about things that are important to counties, specifically Craven County. I brought up just a sheet of the most emerging issues just to make the board aware. We shared each of these issues with Representative Tyson, Representative Carnes, and Senator Brinson. Some of them are certainly more complicated, and there's a lot of moving pieces in all of them. But the first one, which is very much emerging, is the Viper radio system that's used throughout North Carolina. It started as a state project through the Highway Patrol. It serves as backup for a lot of your counties and cities and volunteer fire and rescue and those type folks. It's been a great plan. We have Viper here, but this proposal, which was included in the budget, would take a portion of the Article 42 sales tax from counties to begin paying for this system. So it's not a ton of money, but it is certainly concerning that the precedent this would set for future needs of the state to start coming toward those county revenues. When we talked with the legislators, we made it clear there's only 2 real revenue sources for counties, property taxes and sales tax. So any degradation of those, we're definitely concerned about. I don't know where this will go. It's a proposal. There's a lot of study. It's obviously tied up in the budget, which I'm going to talk about a little bit. So we'll keep you posted on how that works out. The other bill we've been tracking this session is House Bill 729. It's the Farmland Protection Act. There's a lot of things in that bill. Commissioner Jones and I've talked extensively about the challenges in agriculture now, and the state appears to be trying to address some. Whether it's timely or not, I guess we'll see. But in this particular bill, one of the things that we had supported for many years was the reduction of the property tax exclusion for solar energy electric systems. So those facilities have a tax abatement now of 80%. And we were, through the association, asking for a reduction in that. That current bill basically does a 20% reduction per year until it's to zero. We think there's support there. There may be some changes depending on some legislators concerned about the precedent this would set for an industry that maybe built a facility with a certain set of rules and how that works. But we're hopeful at least that the conversation continues no matter what happens. And we look at, again, any degradation of the local tax base is really important to us. Lastly, and probably most concerning and the most difficult to really describe to you, was started as House Bill 765, Save the American Dream Act. It is now morphed into Senate Bill 205. And this deals with lots of land use regulations for counties and cities and our ability to have zoning, our ability to have density requirements for subdivisions. It really challenges the authority of this board. As Mr. Strong would tell you if he was here, it really almost takes away all the authority of the planning board, because all the decisions now would happen with the staff, not at the commissioner level, not at the planning board level. So, and there's even some penalties in there where, and I'd have to refer to Mr. Grady on this to see how it all worked, but if commissions or planning boards interject themselves in the wrong way, you could be personally liable for those decisions if someone was to challenge you in court. It's a very big bill. There's a lot of moving pieces. There were some things that were not transferred from 765 to 205. We're still trying to get clarity on that. The day that we were there, they actually held the first hearing on Senate Bill 205, which we didn't attend because we were actually in another meeting. But there's a lot of discussion. If there was a hot bill for counties and cities this session, it would be this area. So we have those. Those were the three emerging issues. I asked Mr. Merritt to stay. He did a great job of outlining to the legislators some of the future challenges as we look at changes at the federal government and how those may affect state and local government. Jeff, I don't know if you could just for a minute, or particularly just talk about the SNAP benefits and the Medicaid. I think those were the two that were most important. Just briefly give them just kind of a thumbnail for them.
So what we've seen in the reconciliation bill that would affect our economic services programs, our SNAP and Medicaid. First, starting off with SNAP, currently the administrative reimbursement rate for admin costs is the county pays their 50% of that share, the federal government pays 50%. With the version that was in the House, and I think the Senate has concurred now, that would the county will be required to pay 75%, and the federal government would have to pay 25%. So that would be about $575,000 that would impact our budget. We spoke with the state about that, and there's no state participation in the cost of administering this program that the counties do. So we mentioned that. Also, the budget in the House and the budget in the Senate have talked about county states that have a case and procedural error rate at a certain percentage. They will be required to give costs towards the actual benefits amounts, which is currently something that states do not have to do. Those rates vary depending upon what the error rate is. I was looking at the latest Senate one that I got last week after we were there. So if a state has an error rate of greater than 10%, then they would be required to pay for 15% share of the benefits. So if the state does not pick that up, they could pass that cost down to the counties. Now, our estimated benefits that we'll distribute in 25-26 based on state budget estimates for food nutrition services is over $38 million. So 15% of that would be 3.8, 1.9. So you're looking at almost $6 million, 5.7. So, and the state is aware of this. I think that, well, I know the governor sent a letter to our federal partners telling them that if this were to occur, then the state could be on the hook for $700 million. But this is something that the counties are being made aware of. We talked about with our Directors Association. Those are two of the biggest ones that we see. And also just from a work standpoint, in relation to the possible work requirements in Medicaid, that would be another procedural aspect in our determination of eligibility. We do already do some of that on the SNAP side. We're trying to get the state to hopefully align some of those recertifications, but not knowing how that would affect, our workflow and our work processes, that would be something we'd have to see once that was implemented. And what I understand is that they're looking at speeding up that in the Senate. I believe in the House it was pushed out a little bit further, but I think it's at the end of 2027, if I'm not mistaken. But that could be a moving date on when that will be implemented. So we will be watching that, and we're talking with our partners at the Division of Health Benefits about how that can be implemented and have minimal impact, on the actual work and be automated as much as possible.
Okay. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. So you heard from Mr. Merritt. I guess coming back to the budget, that was sort of our $1 million question or whatever you want to call it. We heard, Commissioner Howard and I heard Tuesday night from Senator Berger and Speaker Hall. There is some common ground, but there's a lot of uncommon ground too. And how we bridge that gap between now and maybe a Senate or a House budget that they can start to work on and get there. It's going to be a tedious process. I don't think there's any guarantees this year there's going to be a budget. I think they're focused on getting the issues on the table and starting to sort them out. I think there's some divide on particularly taxation type issues on where those may go. It's just too early to tell to see how it's going to go. I know they have a break in July. I know they're going to come back and really focus on the budget part. I will say this. In our meetings with the legislators, I thought they went exceptionally well. I thought they were very receptive to the issues and needs of Craven County. I think every one of them wants to help us. It just depends on how they can and if there's an ability to help us, right? But I was pleased with the meetings. I think we've been up there and our team's been up there enough. They know our issues. They can almost recite them without us having to say it. Pretty much now, they just pull our package out when we walk in the door and say, what is it now, right? But anyway, I'll defer to you in your comments if there was any things I may have left out there.
My only comment, only thing I would add would be, we heard on a regular basis that there's a lot of pressure right now on them because of the damage in the western part of the state. How much money the state has had to infuse into that situation to rebuild roads, bridges, county, state facilities. So that's the pressure that they're feeling that could prevent us from getting some of the things that we're looking for. And we heard that repeatedly. So I think that, they almost apologized saying, we don't know if we can accomplish this. And they repeated that Western North Carolina has really taken a lot of, took most of the savings account, the fund balance that the state had, billions. I don't know what the number is. Do you remember? It was like 1 point something billion.
Like $1.5 billion now, but there's still
$1.5 billion. A billion with a B has already gone to the western part of the state. And they're not done yet by any means, so.
Jack, could you also add another issue you talked about, which was the airport?
Yeah, so there's still some infrastructure needs at our airport related to some economic development projects. It's been an emerging issue as we've opened up land, I would call it, on the Creekside Park side of the airport. There's now leases that have been issued and signed by the airport and a client that would require additional apron and taxiway. The issue clearly was known to them. I think the airport did a good job of getting in front of it. I think it's going to take some creativity. Obviously, a budget would be the preferred methodology. They don't have a budget, then you can't get things done. But I think there are some things out there now that may give us some flexibility. I spoke with Mr. Shorter late last week and kind of told him about my feelings from the meeting, and he seemed like he and I kind of had the same notes. So it felt good to be on the same page there.
Okay, any other comments?
Is there anything, talking about the airport, that would stop the airport's economic development?
It's more of a timing issue. I think they would like to go as far as they can with this project. I think it could be phased in. That's probably not the preferred methodology. So if we could do it all while everybody's mobilized, it'd be cheaper.
Right.
So I think it's really comes down to now is the right time.
Okay, so now is the right time. Phased is Plan B, but you estimate it'll go forward one way or the other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay.
So last meeting, I got ahead of myself, and I'll just take a quick moment here. Tarsha McCoy, as she stand up, just take a bow. I gave her the spotlight at our last meeting, and just want to again thank Tarsha for her hard work. She does an excellent job at the convention center, and I'm really proud of her job she does down there. So thank you. And lastly, I just want to thank the board. Sort of anticlimactic end to a long budget process. Sometimes controversial, sometimes not fun. We got through, and I appreciate your hard work and the support you have for the staff, and it means a lot to all of us, so thank you for that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Commissioners' reports. Commissioner, who would like to go first? Commissioner Howard.
I'll go ahead and just add on to what Jack said. I do feel like our advocacy days were pretty successful. Enjoyed talking to our Senator Brinson, Representative Tyson, Representative Cairns. Everybody seemed receptive to the things that we wanted. The dinner the evening before is always so informative because you get the perspective of the Senate and the House. It's nice to have Jeff there elaborate on some of these federal issues we're having that might get passed down to the state, then again down to the local level if the state doesn't do anything about it. Not always interesting to dive into those details, but I think very important that we did those things with our representatives. So I thought it was pretty successful. Enjoyed it. And we also hit on Government Center East, which I don't think has been mentioned yet. I know Commissioner Hunt's been working hard on that, and so have I, and to reiterate some of those things, and I'll discuss some of that with you afterwards. But I think we covered a lot of the things that we needed, and Commissioner Booker opened with some other things. I'll let him cover that.
Thank you. Commissioner Mitchell.
Just one thing, I'd like to thank the county manager, assistant manager, and the staff for the meticulous work that was done on the budget. When you're responsible for $160 million, you need to manage it very carefully. You did a good job as always. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I mean, nothing.
Comment?
No comment. I got one thing.
I know.
I have one thing, and I'm glad you're here, Ms. McCoy. I want to acknowledge the fact that there's Marine Corps Ball coming from Onslow County for the first time ever. So there's a lot of discussion about that because it's something new and different for that large organization to move their Marine Corps Ball from Onslow County to Craven County to our convention center. And I would attribute that to the work that you and your small but mighty team does. You do an outstanding job, and thank you for everything.
Thank you. Vice Chair?
One thing, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Mark and I attended Friday the unveiling of the newest historical marker in Craven County. It was in Vanceboro, recognized as Farm Life School, and it says North Carolina General Assembly appropriated funding for rural schools in 1911 to teach homemaking and farm life skills. First was opened 3/10 of a mile north. It was put at the only stoplight in Vanceboro, and but I want to commend Miss Linda Thomas. She spearheaded trying to get this marker up. She worked very hard on it, and it was a great celebration. So
good.
Thank you.
I have nothing to add. Are there any other comments from the board? Hearing none, do I hear a motion for adjournment? Motion, second. We're adjourned.